Welcome back to another episode of the War Room Podcast. This is episode 26, and today we got a special one. We got a special guest, one of my dear friends from my East Carolina days, although we actually never played together, but we've grown to become good friends over the years. But before we jump in that and I give you this introduction, let's pay the bills. The show's brought to you by Believe, B-L-E-A-V, and BetOnline. Head on over to the website or use your mobile devices to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts. So today's guest, because Mr. T-Cop couldn't be here today because he had some prior engagements he had to participate in. But we got a pirate, allegedly a pirate legend here, one of the best to ever do it in a returning game, Mr. Keith Stokes. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing great. And it's not allegedly. It is official.
You sure it's not allegedly?
No, not allegedly.
I'm going with allegedly simply because I'm not going to give you that much credit. I will never do that. But, but just talk about it. Let's let the listeners decide. You know what I mean? They'll get a chance to comment on this on our Facebook page, the War Room Podcast and the ECU Podcast. So we're going to take a blast from the past and talk about you a little bit. We ain't going to go too much into it, but, your time at ECU, you're one of the best receivers, best return men, allegedly again. If you don't mind, give us a little bit of your backstory, man. Where you come from, your time at JUCO, your time at ECU, and then we'll talk about your professional career.
All right, so little backstory. So before I came to ECU, I went to Georgia Military College, and the great guy, Coach Logan, literally told me to my face, I don't like JUCO guys, so depending on how you play is if I get any more.
Wow.
So what I loved about Logan, he was always an upfront guy. He didn't beat around the corner, beat around the bush about anything. You got to have tough skin, but he cared about you. That was one of the things that got me there, because when I got there, I felt loved, like I was part of the family, and I didn't know anybody on the team. But, I went to JUCO, Georgia, like I said, and I was JUCO All-American. I could have went to you pick it. I was top 5 kids to come out in the country. ECU showed me tremendous love. So when I went there, came in, went to school there, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Okay. So arguably one of your best outings going back had to be the ECU versus Miami game. When the hurricane came through here, you guys had to play the game out at NC State because you couldn't get back home from flying into Raleigh. You couldn't get back home, so you guys stayed up there. You might have had a big-time touchdown to give us the lead to go ahead and win the game against a very great Miami football team. So I will give you that you definitely have some highlights. Your kids should be proud to carry the last name. I give them that when it comes to East Carolina University. But what about your time in NFL? I know you spent time with the 49ers and you spent time with the Miami Dolphins. Which one of those places did you like the most?
So football-wise, out of college, I was undrafted. I went to the 49ers. And me being the East Coast Southern guy, California was far. I'm not going to lie, it was hard. It was hard for me. And not playing football, that was not the hard part, just being so far away from everything and the pace of the game, the West Coast offense. I picked it up pretty well. I did well. I actually got a compliment in the first preseason game by the owner. He comes to me and after the game and says, hey, where's that number 9 at? And the preseason I wore number 9. And I was like, me, how you doing? He's like, man, that was the best return I've ever seen for someone not to score. On the return, I think I might have broke 5 or 6 tackles, ran for 60 yards or something like that. Then the guy pushed me out of bounds, close. And I had no clue who the guy was. Then our receiver coach goes, hey, listen, when the owner comes to talk to you, make sure you know who the guy is. I was like, thank you, sir. I had no clue who he was. He's like, do you know who I am? I'm like, no. He's like, well, no, I'm the owner. I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you. Hey, I appreciate it. I guess I should have been doing my due diligence and, looking in the book, find out who this guy on this team is.
Funny that you say that. So when I was with the Panthers, Jerry Richardson was the owner. I was eating breakfast, and he came and sat down at the table with me. I ain't gonna lie to you, I knew who he was, but I was shook. I mean, not many times you gonna rub elbows with a billionaire at that, and then ultimately, this is the guy that's writing the checks for everybody and has the ultimate say so. So I can understand where you're coming from. Not necessarily knowing who they were, but luckily I was able to know it. So you also spent quite a few times. Let me just say this: the guy has been playing football for a long time, my people. And he played on 15 different professional teams. And that's ranking from the NFL, CFL, the AFL, and some of the smaller arena indoor football leagues. So what was it, 2001 to 2016, he's been on somebody's green field with white lines on running around, thinking he's somebody. Not to mention, you also play soccer too, right?
Soccer is actually my favorite sport. No, I love the other football. Actually, growing up, my mom wouldn't let me play football. So I was allowed to play soccer, and I was much better in soccer than I was football. But to be honest, back then there wasn't a lot of African-Americans playing soccer. So in my neighborhood, I was the only African-American kid playing soccer. So when that football came, I'm like, I can do this all day. This is easy. But
easy work.
Not even close. Which sport was I better in? It was soccer easy.
That's big talk, man, because you had some numbers. You're one of the all-time leading return men in the Canadian Football League. Can you speak on your experience over there in Canada?
I mean, so like you said, I played a lot of places. NFL is where everyone chases to go to play football. And to me, just the places I've been, which was San Fran and Miami, it was a business over there. It wasn't more family-oriented or college atmosphere, which guys talk about their college and high school's career all the time. And it's because you meet guys as a group that you become friends with, like me and Eric right now. We're friends from college. The NFL was strictly a business, and you saw it, and you took it as that way. So it kind of took the fun out of the game at the teams I was at. Now, I'm not saying it was like that everywhere else. Mm-hmm. Just those two teams, it felt like give you an example. I've never seen a player curse out a coach before in my life until I got to the NFL. I'm not going to name the player or the coach, but we got in trouble for something. We weren't practicing hard, and coach goes, "Get on line, we're running." He said, "F that, I ain't running." And me, I'm the young guy in the family, like, do I get on the line? Do I not get on the line? Like, I'm running. Like, what do I do?
I bet you got on that line.
No, because nobody else got on the line. I couldn't be that teammate to get on the line standing by myself. The young rookies were standing there in the middle like what we do? And the dude was like, "I'm not running." So we didn't run. But, it was kind of crazy. Because, there, the players making more than coaches. I mean, it's, player/owner given league in the NFL because they make all the money.
Yeah.
And, you follow the road that guy there. Sometimes the players have more control of the team than the coaches. And some of them know it, and they take advantage of it.
Yeah. Steve Smith was like that. Steve Smith was like that in Charlotte. He ended training camp because he said, "I want to get back home to my babies." And coach said, "All right, guys, pack your bags. Let's go back to Charlotte."
Stop playing.
Yeah, he called it. He was like, coach was like, "We might end camp a little early and get back to Charlotte, blah, blah, blah." And Steve Smith was like, stood up and was like, "Yeah, coach, I need to get back to my babies tonight. What's up?" And we packed up and we left. So
oh, wow.
It's definitely a more player-ran league than it is coaches, because the players are making the most money and they are the product that's on the field. Yeah. So while you were in the CFL, was there anything comparing it to the NFL play and the Canadian play? What was the biggest difference transition from NFL to Canadian?
The biggest difference for me that I saw, now don't get it twisted. There's guys in the NFL that can play. They can't play CFL, but guys in CFL that can play for sure in the NFL. Like, no questions. Warren Moons, Warren Flutie, they're my old guys, but Cam Wake had a great year at DN in Canada and great in the NFL. That boy was an absolute animal. In the CFL and Canada, the CFL atmosphere was like, it's only a 3-down game, so you got to be in shape. If you're a return guy like I was, you're really playing as if you are a starting receiver in the game because there's 3 downs, there's probably 10 to 12 punts in a game. You're getting more touches than the starting receiver you're going to get maybe 7, 8 touches, but you're getting every kick return, every punt return. So you're involved a lot in the game. So for me, that worked in my favor. I mean, the biggest adjustment for me was the motion. You know, guys running the motion. When you got everybody running the motion at one time, guys changing. You know, that first time I saw that, it looked like a video game. I was like, what in the world is this? Like, it was nuts. But the atmosphere there was more of a college atmosphere. And that's why I loved it. We're more family-oriented. You know, I got guys out there that I talk to all the time. I mean, you're not making a lot of money. You're making enough to support yourself. I mean, not enough to, you know, nobody's making, you know, $30, $40 million. I mean, there's people out there making a couple $1 million. I'm not going to lie about that. But the atmosphere was so much more like college and friendly. And I just loved it over there. And I actually had a chance after I won Special Team Player of the Year my second time to come back to the NFL. And I didn't want to.
Oh, so you're just going to slide that little to yourself? Yeah, the second time. Yeah. The second time. So you were the Special Teams Player of the Year twice.
Yeah.
The accidents happen.
I know. It's 12 o'clock twice on time to clock.
Twice.
Great time I was there. Twice.
I ain't mad at it. I mean, you look up your tape. I mean, you can jump on YouTube and check your numbers and stats and all those things. You were a phenomenal player. I won't knock that. You probably weren't as electrifying or as explosive as myself, but you were pretty solid. I'm
5'8" and you're 6'5". So you're a big guy. I'm a small guy. When 60,000 just screamed my name, I don't never heard him say Graham on any film I've seen of you. But I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not sure how that works.
You got one of those last names that just flow. That's the only reason.
I thank my daddy. I thank my daddy for it.
Well, let's get off you a little bit. I ain't trying to give you all this glory and all of that because, one, you know, that's not what I'm about. We had this discussion all the time between myself, you, Torrey Morris, and Derwin Lamb, who was the best Pirate. And I still hold myself as a high regard above you three guys. And I'm going to keep it that way. But
the story tells you different, but I'm not sure.
We're gonna change the subject so you can't have so much rebuttal. All right. So
I got you. I'm ready.
Let's talk about the NFL a little bit. So we got a bunch of moves. We had the franchise tag time frame came through. We had some trades going on, some releases going on. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Let's talk about that. They decided to let Russell Wilson go, and now he's a Denver Bronco. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
I think Russell Wilson walked into the perfect package for him at his time playing right now. He's older. He has arguably the best running back duo, I believe, in the league. They don't talk about those two backs back there, but them two boys tote that tater, son. As they say down south, they tote that tater.
Hey, he's from Alabama, folks. So when he say down south, he's talking deep south.
And then you got the young emerging Jerry Jeudy, who I think is going to be awesome. Then you have the other receiver, I believe it's Patrick or Sutton. One of the two has come off an ACL injury. That normally takes you 2 years, so he'll be coming off back at 100%. Their defense was still good without Von Miller.
Yeah.
The only problem Russell Wilson's going to walk into is that buzzsaw the league is in right now. I mean, you got Kansas City, you got the Chargers, you got the Raiders. I mean, there's no easy wins over there.
No, he's actually what we consider right now an old quarterback compared to these young talents that are coming in right now that are playing and showing up that are taking over the NFL. So it's definitely, I feel as if it's a good fit for him as far as where he's at.
Great for him in his career and his age right now.
I wonder
doesn't have to do much.
I wonder how his wife is going to feel about moving to Denver. I doubt she moves there. But
they're for sure keeping a house in some big city somewhere.
Oh, for sure. They have to. Because Sierra does not seem like a cold weather, heavy snow, even though it gets cold in Seattle and rains a lot. I don't see her messing with that snow too much.
Nah, me either. I'm sure she's going to make him buy a house. He done bought that house in L.A. because they're going to Denver. He had to give something up. He got that house in L.A. and New York.
For sure, without a doubt. So also what they did on the defensive side of the ball, when we was talking about off air, is that the Seahawks kind of, you know, I don't know, I guess it's a rebuild thing. They let Wagner go.
I don't even think it's a rebuild. They really just cut the face off their whole team.
Yeah, they took both the faces. They took the offensive face and got rid of it, and the defensive face and got rid of it.
Now, this all could be to go after, another big name quarterback who they're waiting for his trial or whatever that mess is going to happen with him. Because he changes the game, they get them. That, I got a free money up for it. Absolutely. Because I got 2 young receivers who can still play. When my running back is healthy, I'm still good. And they know I'm going to have to pay Deshaun Watson when he gets in here, if he comes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if they're going to wait for that, whatever, but I'm going to have to pay him. Whatever that may be, but I got to give what to Houston? The 2 first rounds I got from Denver. There you go.
Yeah.
And my first round. You can have those. So
it's interesting to see where Deshaun Watson lands for sure. I would love to see him continue to play. I hope all those things that were been said about him are not true.
Absolutely.
We're fathers and we have daughters, so absolutely, if anything that's true, he gets what he deserves. But if it's not true, I hope he can get back and have a successful career and finish out his career. And Seattle would be a good landing spot for him with that. The coaching staff there is, well-coached team for sure.
Yes.
What do you think about Carson Wentz going over to the Redskins? Not the Redskins. Let me take that back.
Commanders.
The Commanders. I apologize.
There you go. Good job.
It's going to take a while to get that out. I'm going to be honest with you. I really felt like they should have stepped with the Washington football team. We just rolled with that. But what do you think about Carson Wentz going there?
I think it's a great thing for Carson Wentz. And my reason being, Carson Wentz was a great player for them to lead them to the Super Bowl when he's in Philly.
Come on, that was not all him.
It wasn't, but he started it. And there was no pressure on him, and he done well. And then when that pressure started getting to him, he got hurt or whatever happened. And then the other guy, Foles, came in and done what he's supposed to do as a backup and take him to the promised land. And then, the pressure's on him again. He can't handle it. He gets hurt, but not in Washington. Because Rivera, coaches like Rivera, coaches like Bill Belichick protect their players. They don't let that mess come in there. They don't play that at all. And that's what he needs. He's not going to let that media attack him that way. Rivera don't play that. He got a standard in a way. You saw Cam Newton. You're going to act up or get up out of here. Like, you're not going to be above the team. No one's going to do any distractions around the team. We're going to do it one way, and that's our way, the right way. So all these outside distractions, if you try to bring that mess in, he shuts that down. So I think this is a perfect place for him. I'm not asking you out here and throw for 3,000, 5,000 yards. You're going to hand this ball off, and every now and then throw them jump balls of scary Terry. My running back catches little bubbles. My D front 7 is arguably best top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
And I'm in the NFC least.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it pans out. I mean, I'm not a Commanders fan by no means, especially being a Cowboys fan, obviously. I'm not a person that follows that team unless we're playing them. So I'm not really sure. Now, we have something else that come up. Now, obviously, you heard how we opened the show. One of our main sponsors is Bet Online. And so let's get to talking about this Calvin Ridley guy who who's recently gotten in trouble for betting on NFL games. And he received, a full season suspension?
Full season for betting? That's a big drastic.
Now, what was the numbers? He lost, $11 million he would have made.
I lost $11 million for $1,500.
For a $1,500 bet, he lost $11 million.
I'm not a mathematician, but that don't add up.
It don't add up, brother. He got to be sick. And I mean, he got 17 games. So let's just go down the list. And I hate to bring up bad news, but let's say Ray Rice. He got suspended 2 games. Obviously, he didn't get a career. Nobody pulled the trigger because it was kind of one of those new things. But he got suspended 2 games for domestic. Greg Hardy got suspended 4 games for domestic. Adrian Peterson, felony child abuse? He got 6 games. Zeke Elliott got 6 games for hitting a woman. Josh Gordon got 6 games for smoking weed. This man gets 17 games for betting. And I think they said he made the bets when he wasn't playing, right?
He wasn't playing at all, but he made the bets, but he was still on the roster as exempt. So he's still on the team, not getting paid. So that's how that went for him there. But I believe the NFL done that harsh way. They don't want that stench on them like baseball had with Pete Rose. They don't want that. So if I'm going to chop this head off right now, because gambling right now is being promoted everywhere you sell. Everywhere,
Oh, for
everywhere.
sure.
FanDuel.com. Right now, one of your sponsors is a gambling place.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
Bet
so-
online, which is the best place.
Yeah.
Which is the best place to make your online wagering.
Hey, bet online. Bet there. Bet online. Best place.
For sure, for sure. You know, so I mean, sitting there thinking about it, for him to get 17 games, I feel like it's absurd. But I do understand the integrity of the game approach that they're taking. So it definitely makes sense. Without a doubt, it makes sense, you know, for him to get suspended. He should know
Now,
better.
if I'm him though, if I'm him, I'm going to my PA. My players, I mean, we got to fix this.
Yeah, the Players Association probably will.
I already saw that a year for mental health, and then I can't sit out 2 years.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
He'd been better off getting suspended like $1 million, or getting fined $1 million or something, or $2 million. Or something.
Absolutely. And with that suspension, he's not even allowed to go to Canada to play football, or the UFL, the XFL. Like, let me go make money elsewhere if I can't play for you because you got me for betting. I won't bet over there. But he's not even allowed to do that because they're suspending him for the full season.
Yeah.
No way.
They got to figure it out. So it's getting close to that time where we have all-star games that just finished up, like college senior all-star games, and we have rolling into the NFL draft and stuff like that, a bunch of pro days and stuff. Did you see the numbers that these kids were running at the combine? It was absurd. I mean, I think there was like 8 receivers under 4.4. I think we're losing you here, Keith. I think you're freezing up on me, brother. Need you to get your cell phone service up. But what we'll do until we get Keith back, before we get him back on, what we'll do is we'll have a quick conversation about the combine. I mean, it was absurd. Watching the combine, this year they had a guy from Georgia, 341 pounds. He ran under sub 4.8, which is unheard of. I remember guys just over 300 pounds were just trying to run 5 flat. And that was a great thing if they ever got to 5 flat. So the numbers they put up, I mean, we had a new guy set the record for as far as fastest 40. I think he ran 4.22, I think 4.22, 4.21, something of that nature. If I'm not mistaken.
There we go.
Oh yeah, you got that janky cell phone service. That's what.
No. What happened? It jumped on a couple of Wi-Fi.
Oh, must have did it again because it's doing it again right now. So you got that janky cell phone service. Let's talk. Keith might have been a great return man, but he's a terrible cell phone plan picker. It is what it is. But I was just sitting here talking.
We're moving now, so we good.
I was sitting there talking about the 40 times at the combine, man, where we had 7, 8 receivers under 4.4. Matter of fact, what 40 did you run at Pro Day? How fast did you run? And there you go again, janky cell phone service. You know, but in a nutshell, the game speed is picking up so drastically. Like linebackers are running 4.4s, linemen are running under 5s.
Under 5. You see the D line? You see the D line that ran a 4.4? DN?
There was a DN that ran a 4.4. Did you see the 340-pounder run a 4.8, 4.78?
4.78 at 340 plus.
I don't even want to disrespect him and say 4.8. I'm gonna say 4.78. Yeah, he was
absolutely. Give me my time. Give me my seconds.
How much do you think the 40 times playing you making it to the NFL?
Too much.
I agree. What 40 did you run on Pro Day?
I didn't run it.
Why?
I pulled my groin. But my junior year, I ran a 4.37.
You really just gonna shoot that? This is what we doing?
Hey, well, listen, you can ask. So my junior year, going to senior year, we ran it with players. Antoine, one of the twins, I ran it with the twin, because then they let you run with a guy your junior, senior year before you know you run it.
Right.
I ran against the twin. Yeah, he was right there to witness it, because I blew the doors off him.
Oh,
but
so
I
you
like
put
the twin, man.
So you put a gap.
Like
you put a gap on Antoine Adams.
No, but I ran a 4.37. He ran like a 4.41. Like he still ran well. But I've never seen 4.3 again, though. I've never seen it again. I ran that one time, but normally I was like 4.45, 4.41, somewhere around there.
That's shocking with those short legs, but you'd be able to pick up speed like that.
What you mean? I have big muscles.
You literally you like 5'5".
5'8", but don't steal my inches, pause.
Is it a big is it a big 5'5"? I mean a big 5'8"?
5'8", man. 5'8" even. Flat. There we go. 0-0.
Yeah. So, to jump back in, you tell us the good news. There's something that's going on in your world that you just got this gig. Tell the people about it. Tell the East Carolina community what Stokes got going on.
Yeah, so I've been coaching for a while, and I just got my first head coach job at E-Town High School in Pennsylvania as their head coach. First season, coming up, 22. There's a lot to do that head coaches do that behind the scenes that you have zero clue. Oh, my Jesus.
Will Bland at J.H. Rose made it look easy.
That's awesome. He's a pirate. That's what we do. We're supposed to make it look easy.
Oh, so I don't need to hear you complaining. I don't need to hear you complaining.
No.
You just get the job done, Stokes.
I'm going to get it done the pirate way. Hard work. Oh, hey, every Tuesday we're going to run some 300s too.
Oh, my God. Matter of fact, with you coming out of Georgia military and out of high school and coming over to a D1 program, talk to the young boys about that workout change.
Ooh, that's different. That workout. So the biggest thing I can change it to is when you leave your high school, you were the man. You was like, you was Michael Jordan, you was LeBron James, just school. When you got the D1, everybody at their school was LeBron James. So you sit in the room with 75 LeBron James, 25 Kyrie Irvings, a couple Jay Hardens, and they all look at you in your face like, shoot, I want to be the man too. Yeah. There ain't enough balls to go around. And as a great Nick Saban, I mean, you got to call him a great because he's the GOAT of college football right now.
He's all right.
He says the cream rises to the top. They always do, and I want you to compete. And a lot of guys fall off because they don't want to compete. Not saying they're not as good as athletes. They don't want to compete.
This is true.
And I think that is why I played football so long, because I'm so competitive. Like I compete with everything, and it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse.
Small story here, folks. So me and Keith, we played on a national championship winning flag football team for years. And there's a moment where we had some, I guess you want to say, some younger talent in the style of play that we had, where he wasn't getting the ball as much as he wanted to get the ball. Yep. I'm gonna tell the folks on you. So he's throwing a whole temper tantrum in the huddle. And I literally had to turn around and tell him to shut the hell up and just get the hell out of the game. And I'm talking about this little dude was so probably mad at me. Like everything in his eyes said he lucky he big. I hit him right in his mouth right now. That's how I felt. And I still feel that way. Like you threatened me. But he basically caught a couple passes, got the team downfield. We get in the goal line and then they take him out. And he throws a temper tantrum because they're trying to take him out. So young people, control your attitudes. It's bigger than your individual. It's about the team, okay? It's about the team. Don't do what Stokes did.
I was human. I had a human moment. Sometimes when I blame it on the quarterback. Leon can't do it all. Don't feed me the ball 5 times in a row and say, come out the game. I won 6. Give it to me 1 or 2 times, I'm not complaining. We just jolly going down the road. I learned from that mistake, and it didn't happen again. It did not happen again. But I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. I was 38 hot though.
Oh, you was. I remember. I remember.
I was 38 hot.
I know you was. You started to turn green a little bit. But all right, so let's talk about our East Carolina Pirates, bro. What can we do to get back to the top of the conference? I know I was always big on we should have never left Conference USA. We should just stayed there and had our successes because I felt like that's kind of where we're at. I'm not knocking our university by any means, but it's hard to recruit talent away from cities like Houston, Orlando, Tampa, Philly. Greenville, North Carolina does not necessarily register on the city scale to match up with those cities. And I feel like we lose a lot of talent because that's what we're recruiting against versus recruiting talent that would only play at the schools that like Conference USA had. But obviously Mike Houston has done a decent job to kind of somewhat turn this thing around since Coach Montgomery has left. And I'm not sitting here saying Coach Montgomery was a bad coach by any means. I think he came into a bad situation and just wasn't able to get it better before he got axed. So what would you say that East Carolina University needs to do in order to get ourselves back at the top of the conference?
Now, this is just my personal opinion. Like, no.
That's all I want. That's all I
yes.
want.
For a fast track, you got to hit that transfer portal and the JUCO thing like ASAP. If we want a fast track, you got right now, they're literally giving you the keys to every kid that's real decent to that, in their position because they want to get out. They want to start somewhere else.
Right.
And we're not a Power 5. Not saying that our guys can't start at Power 5s by no means. The Power 5 just didn't call most of our doors. Because for sure, if they'd have called a couple of our doors, we'd be starting at a Power 5.
Right.
We were just either smaller, a little slower, didn't go to a big enough school or whatever, or ECU might have been the first school that called you and you were loyal to that, which, hey, I'm happy for.
Yeah, yeah.
But fast track, that's what I believe. You fast track, get the starters on got to go big guys or whatever, big guys, quarterbacks, those positions matter before anything else matters. And
say it again.
Locally.
Say that again.
D-line and quarterbacks matter. D-line, O-line, and quarterbacks matter on any team. I don't care where you are. You can't play without them. And then, this is me personally, I would go around locally and grab the receiver, the tight end, the DB from, the North Carolina, South Carolina areas. But that would be me personally. I don't know how he goes about doing it. That's just the fast track way about doing it if I want to go right now and try to take over that conference, because right now Cincinnati got a hold on it, and they gonna hold it for a minute because they went to that national title game.
Well, they're leaving. Some of those schools are leaving for the Big 12, being at the Big 12.
But that'll be 2 years, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. So 2 years.
It's theirs for now, is what you're saying.
So 2 years hurts. 2 years. I don't want Mike Houston to leave. I actually like what he's doing there. Mm-hmm. But 2 years, when he go 0-10, 0-20, Mike Houston gonna be gone.
He won't lose that much, man. He has a very
he's not gonna lose that much. But I'm just saying that. I'm just saying in general, like a lot can happen in 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see that happening, but a lot could happen in 2 years. I mean, I was proud of the way we played and the way we fought.
What about the quarterback situation? Holton Ahlers has decided to come back for this last year, and we have this Mason Garcia kid that's one of these highly touted. Like he's probably one of the more popular recruits as far as coming in and being a quarterback at that. And now we're telling him
it was a 4-star.
Yeah, I'm telling him to sit down again behind Holton Ahlers. You watch the games, and I've never been a huge fan of left-hand quarterbacks. It drives me insane. If Michael Vick didn't run as fast as he did, I don't even know, or make people miss the way he did, I wouldn't have been a fan of that either. But do you think the kid decides to stay? Like, obviously he has so far, but obviously that transfer portal can happen at any moment. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about that quarterback play, period? I mean, Holton Ahlers, is he the guy?
He's the guy for now. He's the guy for now. To me, and this is outside opinion, he's a Pirate. I love him, regardless, how great he is, how small he does. He's the guy for now, and I see the guy that's there behind him, the Garcia kid. I don't know what he does in the weight room, what he does in the film room. To be a 4-star, I mean, Houston and those recruiting coordinators better be tight on that boy hip. Come out, stay. I don't know what he looks like on the field, because he could be, the big Jamarcus Russell guy, first-round draft pick, and gets on the field and stinks it up. But with a little bit I saw, he's very athletic, and he got a big arm.
Yeah.
With a little bit I saw, I don't know how smart he is on reading the coverages or how great of a leader he is. Because quarterback, you have to be a leader, regardless if you're vocal or you're a guy to just put your head down, put your heart on, and goes to work. You have to be a leader. If he's a sucky leader, stay where you are right now.
Right.
But for me, I believe just push, and be ready to play when your number's called, whenever that is. Big thing
Man,
is, shoot, man, get that degree. Get that degree. You sit back there and finish your degree in 2 degrees, man, and have, shoot, be real.
yeah.
Get that degree and get 2 degrees on the free. And you got 3 more years to do what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Get that. Absolutely get that degree.
You can double up on them.
Yeah. Had them spend. I mean, there's so many people now that don't understand that. Like, we can even go back to when we played. It was set up. Now, shout out Miss Bryant. Miss Bryant, man. She just put us on the.
Listen, Miss Bryant, and that Clayton, listen. She was on that, son. Get them grades up, get them done. Make sure we get that degree.
See, Miss Bryant, what she did was she set us up back in the early 2000s. I mean, you were the 90s guy. God, you old.
2001.
Yeah,
2001.
Whatever. But ultimately, like, they set us up to finish in 5 years. That was the thing. Like, you get your degree in 5 years, take 12 credit hours, couple hours on the summer so you can get your check. But now it's like, I feel like they're fast tracking these kids to get them out of there, it seems like. So a lot of guys are graduating in 3 and 4 years with that extra year to play. And then now with how they're doing it, where you get to play in, I think, 4 games before they consider a red shirt to make that decision. And then with the COVID year, everybody got that extra year back. And then you graduate in 3-4 years, you could transfer out of here and transfer wherever you want to and still have a year, maybe 2 years to play and to try to get another degree if you choose to. Man, the kids got it made these days for sure. So I hope they take advantage of that thing, man. But we'll see how it goes. Now, before we get out of here, I want to, just touch on a little basketball just a little bit. I know you're a basketball fan, you're a sports fan, period. What do you think is going to happen with the Ben Simmons thing now that he's a net? And I believe, I think he's going there tonight. Is it tonight?
He's going tonight. He's on the bench. He's not playing tonight, allegedly. So he's just going to be there to handle the atmosphere.
There you go with your janky cell phone service again. Everybody, let's chip in some money to get Keith Stokes a new phone. We missed all of that, brother. We missed all of that. You were skipping all
okay. All right, so as you said earlier, I play football everywhere. I played with the soul in Philly. We would win games and the fans would still yell and curse at you. Oh, Stokes, man, you dropped 3 balls. No, we just won and I had 2 touchdowns. You suck, you bet. But they don't let anybody else bother you though. Yeah. They don't let the outsiders do that at all. So they're loyal to what they are. They're family and friends. They're loyal and die hard. You Philly, they ride or die Philly with you. They're gonna talk bad about you all the time and lift you up and all that, the whole thing. Now Ben Simmons, I feel for you, buddy. I feel for the Nets. They might be outside that bus, shaking that bus, screaming and yelling. And he ain't got to endure none of it. He's going to sit on the bench and just smile and keep his mask on and do what I'm supposed to do. But Kyrie and Durant got to deal with that. And every time you see Philly, my thoughts on it, he should just play, get it over with, man, and call it a day.
Play, get over it. So how do you feel about the Lakers and what they got going on? I feel like they're about at the bottom of the league, man.
They're still going to make the playoffs because the bottom teams aren't good enough to even beat them. So they'll make the playoffs and probably lose in the play-in game. And then they're going to, compare LeBron James and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, all them again and say, hey, LeBron didn't get him past the play-in game or whatever it was. But LeBron playing with, I'm not a LeBron. I think Mike's the GOAT before we even go there. But LeBron James is playing with all these older players who are all chasing rings. And it looks like, outside looking in, they don't want to do the things they did when they was younger to get the ring. They say, hey, I'm going to play with LeBron, and LeBron's going to do it, but I ain't got to do it.
Right.
LeBron going to do it, but I ain't got to do it. And the younger ones who are there that are playing, they're not following LeBron as they should. They're following the other older guys saying, I can half do it, I can turn it on when I want, And it don't work that way.
It don't work that way. You got to stay working. You got to be doing that extra. Like, I know we preach that a lot. I know I want to touch on this before we get out of here. Lil Keith Stokes. Lil Keith Stokes is by far the best athlete in your house.
He's going to be an animal.
Do you push him to East Carolina University if the opportunity arrives? If everything gets there and just say he turns out to be a baller, are you going to push him to East Carolina or are you going to let him make his own decision?
I'll be wearing purple and gold every day. Hopefully he see these colors and want to be part of royalty. But I don't know. I want him to be his own man, but I would love for him to go be a Pirate for sure.
Miss me with that old man thing. You gave him your name, the whole name.
But tell you why I gave him a name. Be honest story. So when I was playing football in Canada, I had my daughter there, and I always said I wanted to have a boy or whatever. But if I had a son in Canada, I'd have never called him Keith Stokes because I have a name there. Like, I mean, I played there. I got a couple records there, whatever, you know. So the hate is real, but I love it. But, you know, nobody knows me here. Like, be honest, I can walk the streets in Canada, go to a game, and somebody say, hey, Keith Stokes, somebody else played. Nobody remember me unless I'm in Greenville, East Carolina, or back in my high school.
Yeah.
My name's not Terrell Owens, and no big name here. So, you know, give myself my name, I'm here. Now, if he decides to go to ECU, I mean, be like, hey, Jones went over there and made his own name.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Hey, and his daddy was a first-round draft pick.
This is true.
And you know what he did? Shattered the NCAA records and say, who's your daddy?
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
true.
And there's some that can handle it, some that don't. I believe mine at a young age can, because this boy work ethic is unbelievable. I ain't had that.
Unbelievable. Nephew is the man. I love that kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but man, Keith, I greatly appreciate you jumping on here, man. I know it was on a moment's notice. I hit you up, and I appreciate you coming on. All those good things I said about you, I was absolutely lying. I didn't mean it by any means, so I don't want you to turn around and feel as if Big E is a supporter of Stokes, because I'm not.
It's recorded, but it's okay.
You know, for sure. We might not put this out simply because I said those things. Jesus, I didn't think about that. But brother, I appreciate you. Good luck coaching your football team. I can't wait to see how well you do, because I know you will. Pirates supporting Pirates is something that we always done, and we'll continue to do as our friendship continues to grow. We appreciate you, my boy. And for everybody listening, we are posting this video as we're going to keep making our enhancements and making things better, making everything kind of flow, get the visuals out there a little bit more. Me and T-Cop will be back next week. We're going to continue to try to have more guests on, former Pirates, so we can touch base with these Pirates and see where they're at, and see what they're doing these days. Some of those very popular names that we all know. So appreciate you. Jump on the Facebook page. Any topics that you guys want to talk about, the ECU podcast, the War Room and ECU podcast, please jump on Facebook, leave us messages. Like those who have been sending us messages to our inbox, we appreciate you. Those who are listening, please continue to listen. Jump on the YouTube, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. You're appreciated. Stokes, again, my brother, thank you. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it, man.
Hope everything goes well with you down up in PA, since I'm down here in Carolina, brother. Thank you. That's episode 26, and we out.
Later.